Hey everybody, join me today as we take a look at the new Mafex X-Men Rogue from Marvel Comics. I think she is a figure that was highly anticipated and hyped up, so let's see if she was worth the wait and the hype by taking a closer look at her and see what she has. And here she is, Rogue, the mutant who can steal people's powers by touching them. And so far she is looking really good. I'm liking this leather jacket right here. It's got a wire so you can move it around a little bit. It feels good. Everything else is looking good. Her jumpsuit is pretty plain. Got these metallic greens and just matte yellows that I think really bring out her sculpt work. There's some ab detail and her belt buckle is painted, which is nice, and then the chest emblem is painted. The leather jacket looks really good as well. Her face sculpt is not great, but it isn't terrible either. It could have used a little bit more paint, maybe some eyeshadow and some shading, but other than that, it's not too bad. I also wish she had some dry brush throughout her hair, because that would have really made the colors pop out. But you know, it's not terrible, but it's not great either. I think she looks pretty good overall, and I think anybody who gets her is going to be mostly happy, if not completely happy. Down her body, not too many details. Again, it's just a plain costume. Feels good though, nothing's too tight or too loose. Everything seems to feel good. Like the X is painted on her shoulders on her jacket. I think the cloth good jacket does make her pop out a little bit more. But yeah, overall I am pretty satisfied with her, I'd say. She's not an amazing figure, and it's not wowing me like most Mafex figures, but then again, I think people are going to be relatively happy with her. Yeah, she looks pretty good. So let's take a closer look at her accessories. And here are her hand accessories, and she has a lot of different options. I like the fact that they are gloved options and ungloved options. Everything seems to be sculpted pretty well. I like the fact that she has the option to be holding one of the gloves in her hands while she touches somebody and steals their powers. Now let's check out her head sculpts. And here is the first head sculpt, which is the stoic look. We went over this at the beginning of the video, but I'll reiterate. Wish there was more paint work and some dry brushing in the hair just to make her stand out a little bit more. But overall, it is not a bad head sculpt. Next up is her more happy look. Again, the paintwork not wowing me, but it's not terrible either. Kinda wish there was more expression or detail in the paint to make her look a little bit more happier. I'm also not a fan of the windswept hair. I kinda wish this one was laying down more naturally over her shoulders, but unfortunately each one of her head sculpts has this windswept look, which is not bad, but it is lacking in options, which is kind of unfortunate. But again, I'm fairly happy with this head sculpt. Not terrible, but not great. And lastly is her angry face or fighting face. Surprisingly, this is the one that I like the most because it has the most amount of detail and paintwork to it. The gritting teeth are painted pretty well, which definitely pops out on the face. There's more of an angry expression, which I really like. I'm pretty happy with this head sculpt. You'd think that I'd like the happy sculpts or the stoic sculpts, but again, I think this one is arguably my favorite because it just has the most amount of detail in it. Again, wish there was dry brush in the hair to make it pop out, and since I'm paying import prices, I kind of expect import paint details. But yeah, this is not a bad head sculpt at all. So, let's check out her articulation next. Alright, so with the long hair, she can't look up at all. She can look down fairly well. You get a decent amount of tilt in the neck and head. She can look in both directions. So you've got some head movement. It's not fantastic, but it's not terrible either. Got rotation. Her arms can go up that far. I'm sure they can go up further without the jacket. You can spin them around. Again, I'm sure you can do that without the jacket getting in the way, but still pretty decent range. She has double jointed elbows that bend in that far, which is really nice. And then her hands can move up and down and side to side and rotate around. She has butterfly joints that can move her arms in that far forward, and then they can go that far back. She has upper torso movement and can crunch not that far forward. She can lean back decently enough, and then you can rotate and twist her upper torso. Then she has lower torso, which can twist and rotate, and with them combined, she can crunch pretty far forward. She can lean all the way back. Then she has legs that can kick up that high, which is impressive for Mafex. Of course, then again, they do have pretty good leg articulation. She can do the full splits, which is awesome. She has upper thigh rotation and some drop down hips, which make her kick a little bit higher, but not much. Then she has double jointed knees that go that far. Then she has ankles that go up and down, and you can twist and rotate them. She also has toe hinges that go that far forward and look pretty decent. And onto some size comparisons. Here she is next to the Mafex Harley Quinn in her classic Batman the Animated Series outfit. Then the SH Figure Arts Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku. Marvel Legends Sensational She-Hulk in her Fantastic Four costume, aka the Green Muscle Mommy. And speaking of muscle mommies, here she is next to the Ezra Studios Goldhilder, the Viking Muscle Mommy. So my overall thoughts for this Rogue. She is not a bad figure, but she isn't amazing either. Like I mentioned before, she definitely could have benefited from some more paint apps in the face, maybe some extra details in her hair to make it pop out more, but she is not a bad figure. Her articulation is pretty impressive for Mafex, honestly, and the amount of hand accessories she comes with is really, really cool. I mean, the fact that you can pretty much pose her into anything you can come up with is really neat as well. However, again, I'm just still kind of bummed out with the lack of paint apps, that sort of stuff. I mean, comparing her to Harley Quinn or Huntress, which was both made by Mafex as well, she is definitely lacking in the face department. But I am still pretty happy with her, and I think for anyone who collects X-Men figures, she will definitely make a good presence on the shelf, honestly. She definitely stands out, and if you have the Gambit, she will go really well with him, I think. So with that out of the way, I think I'm gonna give this rogue a 4.3 out of 5. Thank you all so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Take care and have a great day. Bye.